What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. And in this video, I wanted to talk about AMC and give you guys an understanding of why I believe it is a long-term play at this point. And all of the people that issued apologies for going over the 99%, basically of us holding 99% of the shares of stock. I didn't really talk about that. I know that we're still holding a large majority, but I kind of had my doubts about the fact that it was 99%. That's usually a solid giveaway to say that that's probably not the case, especially with all the downward volume. Yes, you do have a large portion that we are holding. I don't know the exact numbers, but you do see that we are holding a lot, right? People are continuing to hold and wait for that price to drive up. And I love it. You know, I'm holding 1,700 shares. There are people out there holding 2,000 plus, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000 plus shares. And I understand why. It's basically for the long haul at this point. Most people would love for it to shoot up to $20 in the short term, but it doesn't really look like that's going to happen. It could be a possibility where it shoots up maybe to, $9, $10, if that, if we have a good day to where we have a lot of volume, then yes. But I knew we weren't holding 99%. But before I get started in this, make sure you hit that like button, also hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one, and make sure that you get your free stocks with Webull down below. All you have to do is sign up, click the link first, sign up, and then deposit $100 and you'll get your free stocks. And you can download the platform by going over to downloads, and then you'll get that platform. But I wanted to talk about AMC because a lot of people want to know how it is a long-term play, because pre-pandemic, they weren't really doing that great, right? You can look at, this wasn't really pre-pandemic. This was a while ago. Let's look at, let's say a year. Pre-pandemic, they weren't really doing that great. You can see them going off and on between like that $2 mark, moving up to $7. So it wasn't really doing that amazing as of, February. So if we look at February 2020, before the pandemic really took place, where all the things closed down, it didn't really have too much of an effect on it. It really dropped down from, $7, I guess $7.22 down to $2, and then continued to hover $2 between $2 and $7. And pre-pandemic, or in the middle of the pandemic, you could see that it fluctuated, right? And a lot of other stocks actually pushed up quite a bit, because I have no idea why. It wasn't anything due to the fact that you had a great economy, because the economy was obviously suffering. It was more or less the businesses were kind of thriving, the corporations, anything that's really a publicly traded company was thriving over anything that was a small business. So you can see pre-pandemic numbers. I would say $7. It's higher than what it is now, so people can expect that it does go up past $7. I believe that it's a $10 to $15 stock. Right now, it should be, and it should be pushing, the $20 boundary in the future. And that's what I'm looking at. Now, I wanted to go into a little bit of detail here and just talk about something that made me think about some things. And yes, I know all these different websites and different things that they say, they may be backed by hedge funds or whoever actually pulls the strings. I understand that, but I always like to get different perspective and understand where they're coming from. But basically, this article here talks about where AMC will be in a year. And it talks about the fact that it's only February. It's February right now, but it has already held a year's worth of excitement for AMC Entertainment, which is true, because you can look at all of the activity that we had, the positivity, the volume increases, decreases, the amount of conversations around this particular stock is astronomical. It's ridiculous. But if you didn't know, the stock skyrocketed up to about $20 per share, over $20 per share. And a lot of people were excited for it to go to the moon. It didn't increase to the level that GME increased to, but it did have a little bit of a squeeze. I wouldn't call it a short squeeze. I wouldn't really even call it a squeeze, because all it did was increase in price, which you've seen a number of stocks do that in the last couple of days, in the last week or so. So I wouldn't call them a squeeze. I would just call that a massive price increase. So the fact that it did have short positions, I guess that's the reason why. But the whole thing that they're talking about here is that AMC really has bills to pay. They have debt. They had $4.7 billion at the end of 2019 and $5.8 billion at the end of the third quarter, with interest rates as high as 15%. So its interest expense from its corporate debt was $292 million in 2019, which is a huge deal. You can look at some of the information that was positive to where they paid off basically $600 million worth of debt. In other words, this article is saying that the company has to be 4 times as profitable than they were pre-pandemic in order to get things done because shares were diluted and all that other stuff. This article also goes on to say that there are signs indicating that AMC could benefit from the pent-up demand once audiences can return to theaters, which is true. That's what a lot of people are hoping for. With a lot of the movies that are going back in theaters, we're hoping that people can, gain traction, or the business can gain traction with the amount of people that are going to these businesses. Hopefully they choose AMC over anything else. But it's more or less what people see in that. If people see that a bunch of people are going out to these different locations and that it is gaining some sort of revenue, numbers come out and people get excited, then that's where the people get excited and they start reinvesting into this area, start doubling down and, doing all of the good things that push the price up. So looking into that, this stock basically, or this article basically talks about the fact that it does not believe that it's going to be at a better situation than it was pre-pandemic. It believes it's going to be at a worse situation because of all of those things. Shares diluted, the amount of debt, the amount of interest that goes into AMC. And I believe that it's the complete opposite. In my opinion, I feel like we're going to see something with all of the attention that we did get, and they may be backed by somebody that's kind of pulling the strings there because it doesn't really add up. Pre-pandemic, you can see numbers that are $7 or $8. We're sitting at $5.70, which is a low of, the low. We had all of that interest, which should flatten out at a higher price. Typically, that's what you see with a short squeeze or an increase. You see a flatten out at a higher price because there's so much interest. There's some sort of manipulation that's going on with AMC that's making it push the price down. And I feel like we're going to see that bubble burst and we're going to see slow increases. Not anything that's these fast increases, because I think they do have institutions that are partnered with the hedge funds in order to sell while they cover any shorts that they do have. So there's going to be some sort of manipulation there. This is not their first rodeo. They're going to be able to do something in order to partner that and not have a massive increase. It's going to be a slow moving increase. This is why I say the long-term play is a thing. And this is why I'm still holding on to AMC. If you didn't know, I sold GME, but AMC is definitely where I see the most potential until any variables do change. And I hope that no variables change. I still see value in this company like a lot of other people do. So looking into this, you could see the stock price as it increased. We could see that we had the volume of 1.2 billion, a half a billion. And right now we're not seeing the volume, mainly because people are saying that we hold so many shares that we can't see the volume. But that's not entirely true. We should still be able to see the volume. If the price is decreasing this much, then we should see the volume on the negative side, but we're not. We're seeing a decrease in volume. The only good day that we had in volume was, what was this? The 18th, right? We had 128 million shares go through, and obviously to the negative side. So that's where you can see all of that negativity that happened. But with the price that's actually going down, it doesn't make sense how we're seeing, it go down this much with this little volume. It should be, flattening out at, 8, 9, 10. It should have been flattening out there, but it was consistently going down. So it made no sense there, which makes me think that there's some sort of manipulation. And I don't want to drag this video on for too long, but my overall opinion of this and why I believe it is going to be long-term, why it is going to be something that we look at as a long-term play, or even see some short pops here and there, depending on what the hedge funds do and how many big institutions buy into it, how many shares they hold, how many shares we double down on, all those types of things. Those variables can change. The reason why I think that is because pre-pandemic, it was $7, $8, and it was hovering between, it got all the way down to the $2 mark in March, but everybody dropped down in March. And then we started to increase and you see it get back up to the $7, $8 mark, right? So that's what I'm looking at and seeing the positivity there with all of the hype built around AMC. We should kind of have that net effect of increasing, being at that $10, $15 mark because of all of the demand around the position, around the stock. So just with that alone, it should be a $10 to $15 stock. Then you start to get into the fundamentals and understanding exactly what's going on with AMC and what their potential is after the hype. So with the hype that people are interested in these theaters, you could potentially have a lot of change in the processes, in the way the flow is of AMC. Maybe we have different partners. Maybe we have Amazon come on. Maybe we have other companies partner up with them, or they change things around by adding executive teams, changing up the overall look and overall culture of AMC, which is a possibility. And they have a lot of things to look at, and they have a new life, basically extending their life a year from now, without having to worry about bankruptcy anymore. So that's where I'm looking at it and saying, this is definitely a possibility to have an increase here. And there's a lot more that we can factor into. I just don't want to talk your ear off and give you a bunch of crazy positive news here. But I've been giving you realistic news throughout the last couple of days and weeks and all of that, just because I want to be realistic and not be that person that says, hey, it's going to the moon, and you don't have a price target, you don't have a profit target to get to. So hopefully you can pick your profit target, but my thought is that we should be at $10 to $15 right now, but something is holding us back, and I don't know what that actually is. And maybe the fact that they partnered up short laddering or whatever they did. But we should be at $10 to $15, and we're going to slowly get there in the coming weeks. So hopefully we see that positivity, and I'm still going to hold on to it. It's something that I have the largest loss in, but I have the most potential in. But yeah, we'll see how this all plays out. But make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Let me know exactly what you think about AMC. I always like to know your opinion. I know there's a lot of positive people out there that think we're going to the moon. Give me your realistic thought of where you think AMC will be in the next 2 months. I'll put out a poll on my community tab to ask everybody where they will be in the next 2 months. And I'll put realistic answers. It's not going to be anything to where I have to the moon. I'm going to have realistic price targets. So yeah, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want this platform, go down in the description, click the Webull link, sign up, deposit $100, and you'll get free stocks. Plus you can sign up for the platform and go to the downloads tab and you'll get that platform. But that's my video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.